Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just jumping on real quick. I had a couple of questions in the comments today, and also saw a few on a couple of groups. I just wanted to jump online real quick. This is the first one that I think I've done in a few weeks now, so I wanted to just kind of jump on real quick and see if there were any specific questions concerning sequencing on the Nautilus or the Kronos. The chat is disabled. I may need to back out of here and come back. Let me look at something real quick. I might be able to edit it. Let me see. Yep, live chat. Anyone? Save. Alright, so the chat should be open now. If anybody wants to ask any questions, we're just going to do this real quick. I'm not going to be on long, maybe 15-20 minutes at the most. And if you are here, just hit the like button and let me know you're here, where you're watching from. Like I said, I'm not going to be on long. I just wanted to jump on real quick to see if there were any questions concerning the Kronos or the Nautilus sequencer. I did have a question earlier today where actually there were a couple of questions in the last couple of weeks regarding getting the getting WAV files from your sequencer to a USB drive. That's on the sequencer series videos. But like I said, just in case, sometimes the questions that seem like they're the most simple are the ones that people don't know the answer to, and that's one of the things that we're here for, to help with. We've talked about a lot of this stuff, over times, over, several videos, but, just in case there's specific things that people don't really understand or grasp, kind of really understand. This first screen is for sequencing any like MIDI tracks. That's what the MIDI program area is for. MIDI/mixer. And then you have a second area. I had a student a few weeks ago that was trying to record audio into his sequencer, and he was using the Nautilus, and the interface are similar, but they look a little different, but they function pretty much the same. But this second area of tracks is where you record audio into the sequencer. You can select the input. Between, if you're using audio input 1 or 2, there's inputs on the back of the keyboard. You can utilize the inputs from there to record audio. You can also use the USB input, like if you're inputting audio from a computer straight into the keyboard, you can do that. There are a couple other ways to get audio in as well, but those are going to be the primary ways that people are going to get audio into the Kronos sequencer. So you got your MIDI loop tracks. So this is where you would set, if you have any tracks that you want to loop, this is where you would set that. You can set it to automatically loop here by pushing this button. There is a loop start and loop end measure, so you can, if you don't want the track to start looping as soon as you press play or record, if you don't want it looping immediately, you can kind of adjust that here. Adjusting this, well, you have to have the track loop engaged. Engage the track loop, and then you just change the start measure where it's starting at. And so the track will play normally up until it gets to the measure that you have selected there. And that says measure 10, and then it'll loop until whatever end measure you put. And then it'll go back to measure 10 and just keep looping over and over. If you have the play intro, then it's going to play the measures that are preceding the loop start measures before it gets to the loop point. So it'll play measures 1 through 9. Once it gets to the end of measure 9, it'll start looping from 10 through 20, and then it'll keep going back and forth 10 through 20. That's there. Let's see, what's another common question? That's one place to loop. There's also another place that you can set your loop points in preference. The preference tab, you can go here to loop all tracks. In one of my videos I use that for when I'm looping percussion. I'll just have it loop that one track, or if I'm just working on like a song that has it's not really built into a song yet. So like I used to do it a lot when I was making like hip-hop style or R&B style tracks. I would have it looping all the tracks at one time, from like measures 1 through 8, and I would just work on like an intro of the song, and then I would move to like measures 9 through 16 for a second set, and I would just keep telling it to loop all tracks. So I would go 1 through 8 to start off. Once I'm done with that section, I will go to measures 9 through 16, and then I would just work on specific sections of the song at a time. And so once I'm done, I would turn this off, and I would have my entire track, like my intro or my verse or whatever, would be on all the tracks from measures 1 through 8, and then the verses or the chorus would be from 9 through 16. And I would just take the tracks that already had data on them. I would go to track edit, and I would just use the copy measures to copy measures from 1 through the end of 8 and 9 through 16, and I would just place the tracks within the song wherever they go. So that's another question that I get a lot as far as looping tracks. The effects, we've talked about that a bit, and Kronos is still better than all the boards out in my opinion. What does that say? I to date can't find anything that he can't do. Oh yeah. Yeah, Devin, it's pretty dope, man. Kronos is dope. It's been interesting. Last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of people, especially with NAMM just ending. People have been asking or talking about that they wish that Korg would put a new keyboard out and a new flagship. I don't know why people overlook the Nautilus overall like they do. It's kind of crazy, but I get it. You know, I love the Kronos too. Nautilus is a great board. Kronos is my favorite all time. But there's some other things that are creeping up quite a bit as far as that's concerned. But I was just telling the guys on one of the forums on Facebook that it's just crazy that, you know, with the things that we ask for in our keyboards. You know, there are ways to achieve them within what we have. Sometimes you have to kind of cut around the curve to get to it sometimes, but a lot of times if we just kind of really sat with our instruments more, I think things would make quite a bit more sense. We don't. I wonder how much, if people were very honest, if they had to like give themselves a grade on a scale from 1 to 100, how they would rate their usage of the Kronos, or not just the Kronos, but any keyboard that they have, any workstation you have. Like, you just name the keyboard. Like, I've got a Kronos, I have a Kronos X, I have a Motif XF, whatever you say, and then you say, and I think I am utilizing this percentage of what the keyboard is capable of. I wonder how many people could honestly even get above 25%, and then just like to go on the high end. I wonder if there are people like in any majority capacity at all that would answer that they think they're getting 50% usage out of the keyboard or what it's capable of. There was one point that I used to listen to demos on keyboards, and I would say that I wonder if what you're hearing, what you're listening to, is the keyboard itself in its totality, or if they're like recording other things into the keyboard sequencer using the keyboard. It's still a demo of what the keyboard can do, but you know, probably it's more so sounds from the keyboard in pretty much most cases. But I just wonder how much, you know, with the keyboard like the Kronos and the sequencer having audio track capability, like I wonder how often people, or if ever people, I know people hook up guitars to it and record guitars directly into it, but like I wonder how often people are recording vocals into the keyboard sequencer, and then like doing any editing or using the effect from the keyboard on the vocal, or if people ever record drums. Like, I've never seen a video. I definitely have seen a video of people recording bass. I've seen a video of people recording electric guitar and acoustic guitar. I have seen instances where people are recording vocals into the keyboard, but you just don't see it that often. But I have never ever seen anybody record drums, like 2 tracks of drums directly into the Kronos, and then like maybe processing the information using the effects that are built into the board. That's something you just don't see that often. So I just wanted to get on, man. Like I said, I didn't plan to be on here a really long time. I get on at night sometimes when everything gets quiet, and I just, you know, I'll go live. But I wanted to get on tonight just to answer some questions for people, and I just wanted to jump on and just see if anybody was maybe up and just had some questions about the Kronos sequencer, and they just wanted to come on and kind of talk about some things. That would be really cool, you know, just to chat for a second, answer any questions. Like I said, there was quite a few. I've had some instances this week where people have been wanting to see about how to transfer audio from their sequencer to just a regular flash drive, and then take the audio from the flash drive and put it in their computer. And we did cover that in one of the Nautilus and Kronos sequencer series videos. But I've seen that question a bit this week. So like I said, I just wanted to get on real quick. So Devin, you have a Kronos, I'm assuming. Do you use the onboard sequencer on the Kronos, or are you sequencing externally, like to Logic or something like that? I really wish the Nautilus had faders. The dynos sound amazing. You mean the dynos like the EPs? That board, to be honest, sounds similar to the Kronos. The Grand Stage X does too. Yeah, they do. So you know the sound engines are the exact same in the Kronos and the Nautilus. I've never really studied the conversion or if they got anything crazy as far as the converters are concerned between the Nautilus and the Kronos, but I do know for sure that the sound engines are the same between the keyboards. So I mean, I'm hard pressed to really say that they sound the exact same. But you know, depending on whose ears you're talking about, some people are going to always claim that they hear some differences between the keyboards. The Grand Stage X2, yeah, the Grand Stage X it brought over some of the sound engines from Kronos and Nautilus into it as well. There's 7 engines on that board, 7 sound engines. But have you seen my video about using the nano control for faders on the Nautilus? Use the tap tempo. Oh, all right. So I got a couple comments. Excuse me. So I'm still learning the sequencer. I used it on a song a few weeks ago once. I'd use it again. I didn't realize how many possibilities there were in the sequencer. I'm still learning it though now. Okay, so all right. So Devin, you should check out my I have a sequencer series that is completely built around the Nautilus and the Kronos sequencer, but it takes you from the very start all the way through adding effects and exporting the track with a USB drive. And there's like 13 videos on it. Now I will tell you that some of the videos are behind the paywall. It's like a membership only type of deal. But all of the videos aren't. I think there's between 12 and 14 videos, something like that. And there is, like I said, it covers everything. All of the videos are not behind the paywall, but some of them are. So if you want to see the entire sequence of videos in their entirety, then I think there's like a $9.99 for the YouTube channel membership that you can check out. Don't feel obligated to do it, but you know, if you want to check out some good content as far as the sequencer, like in-depth use of the sequencer, you can check that out. But I do live streams sometimes like this and just answer questions too, and so that's kind of open to everybody. So if you have any questions specifically that you have that you generated when you were trying to use it, ask away, man. I'm here, and I can help you out with that. Curator XYZ, hi Julius, please, how can I record my play to USB flash drive on Nautilus. Okay, so when you say, can I record, how do I record my play? Do you mean the, like what you recorded in your sequencer? And Devin and Curator, if you guys are not subscribers, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, whatever, just so we can keep pushing content like this out. I appreciate it. But Curator, let me know if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to take your song that you recorded, is that what you mean when you say my play? Oh, Devin, haha, that's cool, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, I can help, like if I do lives like this and you're here and you got questions about something specifically about it, then yep, let's do it. Yes, a recording played on the board. Okay, man. Okay, so I just got this little bit recorded in here right now. Let's see. Was I recording? I know I was recording. Hold on. What in the world just happened? Let's look at that. We're on preference, loop all tracks. Okay, let's record that again. I'm only gonna do 4 measures this time instead of 8. So why is it playing? It's playing back. Alright, let's just go back and do that again. So we're going to initialize song. We're on F84, 95 BPM. F84. 95 beats a minute, and we were on loop all tracks 1 through 4. All right, so let's just say that we have recorded a full-blown track in all its glory. And this is what it sounded like. It's just a 4-measure loop. All right, Curator, this is for you. Curator XYZ. All right, so let's say you had already put some bass on the track and pianos and strings and all of that, and you had your effects and everything sounding just right. All you got to do to put this on put your track on a USB flash drive. Now the process is the exact same, even though this is a Kronos. Make sure you can see the screen really good. All right, all you have to do is you're going to go to audio in and sampling. Okay, there's an audio in sampling tab on your Nautilus. You're going to choose that, and you are going to, where is that? We are going to, where is there? All right, so we're going to select the auto HDR sampling setup, and this is going to allow us to set, like, utilize a template that's already set up, so you don't have to do a bunch of parameter changes here, even though it's really already done. And we're going to go 2-channel mix to disc. Okay, 2-channel mix to disc. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to give you a left and right mix of what you recorded and what you played on your sequencer, and it's going to export it to disk. I'm going to say okay. All right, and then I think we're going to push, not record, where is it? Sampling record. Okay, you're going to push the sampling record button that is on your Kronos, and you're going to push start and stop. Hold on 1 second. I think I just did something wrong. Let me see. Because it didn't start playing. I should have heard the audio. Okay, here we go. Sampling record, start, stop, and then we have our trigger set to sequencer start switch. We're going to push start. And you see the meters are moving. It's recording your audio there. So ours is only 4 measures. So we're going to stop after it's over. It's looping it because it was set to loop all tracks. Alright. Alright, and I'm going to push stop here. Alright, so now if we go to our disc, there should be, alright, so it's right here is the file. Alright, so it says taken, but let me show you something. I'm going to go back to sequencer. There is a point that it should have allowed us to name the file, and I don't see it. I don't remember that. I thought it would have allowed me to do it before. Let's see. We went to 2-track. Mine is using a name from a previous track that I did, and I don't see the naming convention for it. So anyway, that is the process. And then once you go to your disk in your Nautilus, there will be a file here, and I know that this is the right file because of the date. It says 31/1/2024, so January 31st 2024. All right, and here's the file. You can push play. All right, that's the sound that's the song that we just recorded in here. And then all you got to do is you're going to go to utility, and you're going to go to copy, and you're going to, it's asking you to copy this file, and then you're going to select where you want to save it to. So if you push this button here, I don't have a Kronos formatted or Nautilus formatted USB drive in here right now, but you're going to push this drive select, and you're going to select your USB drive, and then you're going to push paste. See, mine's grayed out because it's not being saved anywhere right now. You push paste, and then once you paste it, it's going to basically paste it to that USB drive, and then you just exit out of here, go back, and then you take your flash drive out of your keyboard, and you go to a computer, put it in the computer, and it should be there. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. The only thing that I cannot remember is how it named the file. Okay, so in this select directory file for sample to disk, looks like you can name the file right here. So you can change the name. So I'm going to do it again. Let's go to cancel, done. And we're going to resample again. Select directory for file to sample to disk. And I'm going to name this just so we can see that it actually did it. YouTube USB test. I'm going to push OK. Done. Oh, you can actually also select the flash drive here too, but I would just record it directly to the internal drive and then copy it. That's the way I would do it. All right, so now we're going to push sample record, start stop, and then we're going to start our sequencer. All right, push stop. All right, now when we go to disk, there should be a file there. There you see, YouTube USB test. Let's play it. All right, so that's how you take your songs off your sequencer to USB drive. I had gotten that question quite a few times in the last little bit. Curator, are you the same guy that asked the question on Facebook today? So I'm going to delete these files off of here because I don't need them anymore. All right, so we go back to our sequence. Now let's see. Oh yeah, man, there's an entire, hold on a second, let me post a link to the, series so you can find it. Yo, I gotta be honest, that's one thing that I never really liked, or I'm not gonna say liked, but like super cared for, was the electric bass sounds. Your videos, your channel, I'm going to post a link to the playlist. Nautilus sequencer series. Here it is. Alright, so I'm going to click on that and I'm going to let's see. I'm trying to share the entire let's see. See if this link should take you to the sequencer series. It should. The electric bass sounds, I have like always kind of felt like they were a little cheesy sounding. The crazy part is some sounds just don't replace the real thing. Let's start with some chords. You said the dinos. Let's listen to some of those electric piano sounds that Devin was talking about. Let's see. Their sample is really good too. I've been mixing sounds from my old board, like the Yamaha MS6. They complement each other really well. Yeah, I have not really, to be honest, I've never even used the Kronos as a legit sampler, like sampling sounds. Like Randy, he and I were talking, I think, the other day. I think this is when we had this conversation. Randy Jenkins, and he said that he had sampled some Omnisphere sounds. See, that EP sounds way different than God dang, you hear the difference in how thick it sounds? I'm gonna look at this sound. This is Dino EP. Oh yeah, if there's anybody, this live is supposed to be about the sequencer. All right, so if there's anybody that has questions about the sequencer, let me know, and we will go back there. We just got done helping Curator out with getting his song off to a USB drive. So if anyone else needs help, let me know. If you have specific questions, we'll probably see it's 12:30. So we've already been on for about 40 minutes. That's crazy. Yeah, 40 minutes. So maybe we do another 10 or so, maybe 15, just depending if people are asking questions. Let's see. Okay, so you're saying yes, trillion, yes. Definitely. Man, I'm so mad. A few years ago, someone was selling a copy of Trillion, like still in the box. It was sealed. Somebody in my city on Craigslist. That's back when Craigslist was crazy hype. He was selling a copy of Trillion, still in the box, like a for real legit copy, and I didn't buy it. I wish I had a. So you really? Oh, you're saying that the dinos don't sound good in the Kronos? Oh, so you think the sounds are different? Uh-oh. That LA piano is gonna be under, yeah. Man, I don't have shoes on, and this sustain pedal, it's like I'm not playing it right. I'm keeping my foot down longer. It just feels different playing with socks versus shoes. So sorry about that bleed. Woo! I'm gonna add there's this chorus effect. So there's this alright, so this will be the last thing that I'll show, then I'll jump off. So I'm gonna show this. There's this effect that I like in the Kronos and the Nautilus, and I'm gonna add it to this sound because I think it'll make it sound super thick. Alright, so to add effects and within the context of what this video is about as far as the sequencer, I'll show this. So to add effects, you're gonna go to the iFX tab. You're gonna go to whatever track it is you're trying to add the sound to. Right now it's being routed out directly out the LR output. We're going to change it to iFX1. You can change to any of the iFX. You've got 12 to choose from. We're going to route it out to iFX1. And then right now we don't hear anything because we don't have that iFX selected or on. So right here next to iFX1 there's a button that says on. So you can turn that on. Actually the button says off. You can touch it to select it. It'll turn red if it's on and green if it's off. That should have been backwards. Green means go, red means stop. Alright, so we're going to go to chorus. We're going to select ensemble. This is off. That's off. This is on. I don't know if you can hear the difference. I can. That's on. on. This is off. Off. On. That ensemble chorus effect really thickens up EPs to me. Alright, so that's how you add the effect. That's how you add the effect, and then how you manipulate it. You go right here's where it says I effect 12, 1 through 12, and you can select whatever effect you added here, and ours is in slot 1, so you have to remember what slot you added it to. If you don't remember, you can go back and check right here on the Insert iEffects tab, and you can look at all the effects that you've added. And ours, of course, is in slot number 1, and so we're going to go to iEffects 1 through 12, and you can add effects here. And look at this little secret weapon. This P right here stands for presets. You can change the effect yourself. Alright, so that's changing the effect around yourself, but they've already got some presets. Man, people, I never, ever hear anybody talking about this. I talk about it a lot, though, but I don't ever hear anybody talking about the presets that they have set in here. So Yep, so you got the ensemble, you got the poly 6 ensemble. The poly 6 ensemble is a little, sometimes it seems like it's subtle, but yep, that's a nice sound. This is one of my favorite sounds, Secret Weapon. Synth Pianoxy. Synth Pianoxy. Oh wow, dope, man. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. Oh man, that's amazing, bro. So this Pianoxy sound, I like to mix it with, I'll let you hear it. Go to Combi mode. Go to a user. I like to mix it with a piano sound. Now Pianoxy, it's a very aggressive sound. I usually have to go into the amp edit and like lower the let me go there and show you. Edit program. This sound right here is Pianoxy. Pianoxy, however you say that. This sound has been in Korg stuff at least since the M3. That's where I learned about it at. So let me go back. So this sound here. so what I usually do, because that sound will, all right, you hear that? It will go to the, it'll start to crackle a little on you. It's a very aggressively designed sound. So when you really lighten to it, it'll make your outputs clip a little bit. Is there any significant difference between the Kronos X and the 2? Okay, so the difference in the Kronos and the X is the Kronos came with, initially, I think the Kronos came with 2 gigs of RAM as far as sample RAM in the keyboard, and I want to say it had a smaller hard drive in it initially too, but I don't remember that part for sure. But I think the second Kronos X came out and they had upgraded the they had allowed you, I mean, they installed it from the factory. It had the maximum amount of RAM in the keyboard, and there was some other small difference, but it wasn't anything crazy. But the 2 came out and they had made some revisions as far as the design of the keyboard. You got the wood panels. They put the I think the fan thing had been corrected. They had the little vents on the back. I think I said the end wood panels. And then there was also a design change with something inside the keyboard as far as the main motherboard. And how it was connected to the SSD drive. There's like a change in the way they designed how it fit inside the keyboard. Now, I don't know if that's like super widespread information, but I know it because I've seen the inside of them before. And there was a difference in one significant part as far as the internals on the keyboard. That design change happened between the X and the 2, I believe. But you said you have I think you said you have the X. I'm scrolling back up to see. I thought you typed it. Oh yeah, I have the Kronos X. Yep. Okay, so you have the Kronos X. Yep. Yes, so I mean, as far as capabilities, no. Oh, the Kronos X also came with the Italian, I mean, not the Kronos X, the Kronos 2 came with that new piano, the Italian Grand. I think that was one of the default libraries for that keyboard. Everybody with the first Kronos, if you wanted the Italian Grand, I think you had to buy that upgraded sound set that came out. But no, there's not a big enough difference to justify, if that's what you're wondering, going after the other one. Alright, so I would, just to show you this too, this is where I was going. You can go, like while you're in Combi mode, you can edit your sounds that are a part of the Combi without leaving the Combi. You can go straight to edit the specific sound in its original spot. You go to edit program and it takes you to that sound in program mode so you can edit it. Alright, and then when you save the edits, it does not save to the sound in program mode, but it saves the edits like offsets in the Combi, if that makes sense. Kronos is, or Korg, one of the few companies that at this point, when this came out, they were the only ones that were allowing people to overwrite the presets that came with the keyboard. You cannot do that on Roland. You cannot do that on Yamaha. They gave you a preset bank, They give you user banks. The user banks were sounds that you could create yourself. If you made the smallest tweak, to a sound, like when guys were dropping the release down for their piano sounds, even the smallest tweak, you had to utilize a user slot to save that sound. Kronos, Korg, they allow you to write over every preset. So if you want to dump every preset out of the keyboard, start from a completely clean slate, and make your keyboard exactly like you want it, only yours, where your sounds are in there, and that's it, you can do that if you want to. Not really a good benefit to that, but you could definitely make your keyboard be completely different than anybody else's. So that's why this is very important, because you don't have to overwrite the preset in order to save the sound, and you don't have to save it to one of your user slots either. The adjustments that you make when you do what I just did, so you're in combi mode, you decide, okay, like I told you, this sound, it's got a lot of bite, and so I want to adjust that amplifier setting, bring it down so it doesn't hit as hard when I lighten to the sound. Alright, so I'm going to do, and it does the same thing in sequence mode. You can do the same exact thing. So I'm going to go to this top drop down, and I'm going to go to edit program. So it's going to, the program that I am currently on, you can see that here, track 02, send Pianoxy. You can go to that sound. You're going to go to edit program. All right. And I want to change how heavy that sound is as far as output. So I'm going to go to amp EQ, that envelope, and this amp level, I'm just going to drop it down to probably in like the low 60s. Let's go 60. Just a little bit of crunchiness, just a little there. It's a very heavy sound. One more, let's go to 50. See, now no matter how hard I hit it, got a little bit. All right, now I've made that adjustment. Now I can go back. I push exit. Let's say if there's some other adjustment that I want to make. Let's see. Let's see if we can go to our pitch. Where is, let's see, the LFO. Let me see something. I want to look at the pitch LFO. And we just want to give it a little bit of a wiggle. Nothing crazy like this. Just a little. Like maybe. That's probably too much there. Okay, 1 second on this sound. We're going to go back to what we were doing. Sud Havan. I'm wondering if there are good tutorials to make our own patches from scratch. I feel Nautilus is more targeted toward performance rather than designing sounds from scratch across different engines. Okay. All right, so here is another shameless plug. But I do one-on-one tutorial sessions teaching about teaching you how to sound design using your keyboard. I actually just finished one up with a guy named Eric, and we did lessons for I think 2.5 months, and we went through almost every single engine. I think the one engine that we didn't do was the STR, the string engine. I think that's the only one we didn't do. But I basically went in depth and showed him programming concepts with every last one of the engines. Some of them I'm more versed in, more comfortable in than others, but definitely have the ability to teach that. So if that's something you're interested in, you can leave me a message or you can shoot me an email and we can get something set up and I can help you as far as that's concerned. But with that said, I will say the second part of your comment says, I feel Nautilus is more targeted towards performance rather than designing sounds. I'm really interested to hear why you say that, why you think that, that it's more tailored toward performance. And is it because there's not a lot of onboard controls on the keyboard? Is that why you think that? Or let me know. Post a comment and let me know exactly why you feel like that. So we can give that sound just a little wiggle. So we got that we've added now, or we could put this back on 0. Let's see, I had it on 90.95. So they've already got a little JS plus Y intensity added. They've got a little added if you move the joystick plus up, joystick Y up. Okay. Okay. So what I want to do, I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to put that 0.95 amount on intensity, and I'm assigning it to an alternate modulation source, and I'm making that aftertouch. So now I can control the aftertouch by, I don't have to, like, here are my hands. All right. I can go with the joystick and push it up, and that gives me 0.85 amount of intensity to my LFO number 1, which is giving me that little wiggle that you're hearing. But I also have just assigned it to aftertouch, that 0.95 amount, and I can just use aftertouch to generate the wiggle. You hear that? Okay, so I'm going to make that a little bit more intense with aftertouch. And I'm going to put mine back 0.95 just by default. So here it is normal. And then with the intensity added from the aftertouch. Okay. So I said all that to do. Now we've got all of those. I said all of that to say we've got those 2 adjustments we just made to the amp envelope. Not the amp envelope, but the amp level of the sound. And we do that in the amp EQ section. All right. And now I'm just going to go to exit. And now I'm back in Combi with our edited sound. Hear that? And here's our piano. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of a little string sound on top of this, and we about to be smoking. Now I'm going to pull a little bit of that, I'm going to edit that piano oxy sound just a little bit and take that intensity. I did make it a little bit exaggerated just so you guys can hear it, but that's way too much for me. So I'm going to drop it down to 0.85, and then the aftertouch one is at 1.4. Alright, guys, I overstayed my welcome, so I'm going to jump on off of here. I just wanted to jump on for a second and see if I can help a few people out with a few questions that may have been needed to be answered, and I hope I have done that. Let's see, we've been on for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I'll leave this video up. Just so you guys can check it out if you need to reference it again. I want to thank Devin Shoulders 451 for the super chat donation that he made to the channel. Really appreciate that. That goes a long way as far as encouragement and pushing me to keep doing stuff like this. It means a lot even for you guys just to show up, period, just to watch and interact. That's awesome. But I really thank you for the support on that level, Devin. Thank you very much. If you guys have any other questions that pop up after I end this video, just leave them down in the comments and I'll see it tomorrow or at some point in the future. Please don't forget to share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all of that good stuff that everybody always wants us to do. I have membership options that are available, and they each have different levels of perks that range from just indicating that you're a member of the channel and live chats, all the way up to one-on-one virtual sessions that can be bought via the super chat. They can be bought via the membership. But there's all kinds of things in between there. Member-only live streams, member-only videos, member-only Microsoft Teams or Zoom meetings where we have back and forth interaction. So there's a lot of things you guys that are trying to learn about your keyboards. I don't just have a Kronos. I also have the Roland Phantom, the newest one. It is upgraded to the EX. I have the Roland Phantom G. I have the Yamaha Montage MX, the 8 version. And I have the Korg M3. I have a Motif ES. And I have some sound modules as well. So guys, if you need any help with any of that kind of stuff, I'm available. And I'm here to help. I appreciate you guys for coming out and checking out the video again. Please don't forget to subscribe and share the content. I appreciate it. Hit me up if you need anything. I'm out. Peace.